this, I swear!
Are you sure?
We are totally doomed now! Check everything. It could be anywhere. My code just commented itself. My coffee wants admin access. Do not trust the mug. The mug knows things. Cut the connection. I did. Then why is the router laughing?
The internet. She no belong to us.
The internet. She no belong to us anymore.
Welcome back to the Fourturamas podcast. I'm here with Chris Roberto Costas. We were talking about a lot of these topics. Help me out. Well, first Chris was talking about his DJing experience, getting confronted. We won't have to go into too much details, but
and it's easy to say. I don't want to say this online, but
no, yeah, I'll share it. I'll just keep it general specific. So basically, I got my first song request for an AI song from YouTube, which also happened to be my first death threat of the year, which it happens. You know, the DJs have a tough position. You got to turn down people when they have a bad song. But basically, this guest demanded that I play this, called me a bad DJ for not having an adapter for his type of phone. And then he said he would kill me. And I'm like, all right, man, come on. You had a little too much. It's time to leave the DJ booth area. But yeah, it's interesting. We're having AI songs now being requested at weddings. I don't know how this song would have gone. It could either be funny or really cool, but it's a situation that happens. But what are you going to do? We just move on.
Yeah, maybe he was embarrassed because he asked you for an AI song.
I mean, Chris, how really? You said you got threatened. I mean,
It's not that often. I would say in total on one hand over the last 12 years. But people can just be a little bit rude or mean towards you. If they don't like the way that you respond to them, or people treat DJs a little bit differently. I don't know. Like they expect the DJ to know every song possible. If they request a song like you've never heard of it, what do you mean? You've never heard of my song? Isn't it a good song? And if you don't like their song, well, that hurts them personally. They think that, now you don't have good music taste. But no, it's really just about that wedding, that dance floor, music I personally like. And sure, I would love to hear it at a wedding. It may not be a good fit for the vibe. So you're really just kind of, gently declining, turning people down, or hyping them up, saying, hey, we got it on the list for you, but it never makes it to the request line.
Well,
really.
what if he tipped you like $100?
That's tough.
which is the price of corruption of a wedding DJ?
Right, yeah. What is it going to cost? Yeah, he first offered 20. Sure. So depends on what you're asking of the DJ to do for you. Because in the grand scheme of things, there's really no amount of money that could influence me enough, because what the bride and groom are paying you outweighs any sort of potential tip. So you got to take care of your client first.
This guy's making branding content. This is our podcast, Chris.
Yeah. It's important though. It's customer service, taking care of the client. Don't let someone's, that seems short-sighted.
So the only reason I asked,
the drunkest came out when they come there and say, I want the song about ChatGPT. Now you play it. This is $1 billion. Yes,
my AI made it. My AI made it.
I vibe coded this song. Please play it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it would be so cool.
Dude, but that is the equivalent, though. Think about that. Getting a random request, an AI song, might as well be like, this is some indie, obscure thing you've never heard of that could be bad subjectively. So you don't just associate. Maybe people think the word AI means it's super good. It's been cleared or something. Who knows what that really intends?
Is there a possibility in the future where I don't know if we talked about this, but vibe coding the music as you go. So you have this DJ or this machine, and you make suggestions, or you type them in or send them in, and it creates the song list as it goes. As it gets the data in, it creates the song that best fits.
You're gonna have Joe start vibe coding this shit tonight as soon as the podcast is finished.
It's like
the idea that you put a webcam on the crowd and feed the screenshot of the crowd to the AI, and the AI fill in the songs to match the mood of the crowd.
It's
And
true
I
as
think
fuck.
Chris
That's
doesn't
easy.
have a job anymore tomorrow
Sorry, Chris.
Yeah,
because of Joe.
it's
Because
it's getting
Costa came
close.
up with the idea. Joe implement it. I'm gonna make a market and sell it everywhere, and Chris sit at home crying.
It isn't that hard though, especially if you wanted your own input, where you're like, I'm gonna rate the crowd's feedback of 5 or some shit, and then each song is being, yeah, you can
Actually, if something like
combine
thing
that with
happen, I
watching the
think
crowd.
Chris will get rid of all the clients that are complaining and cheap and work only for VIP high level set where they are too rich to use AI tools and they want the humans to do the job. I think this is a little
Mhm.
bit the future we're going to face. Huh? AI is going to become the cheap solution for people that cannot afford the human to do the thing. I don't know, maybe,
Mhm.
right?
Well,
It's
that
So,
convenience. It's
that's the
convenience we didn't
thing
know we
because
needed.
I saw this thing where they're saying like, okay, so on YouTube or influences, we'll use AI for most people. So AI avatars for the public for the free stuff. But if you want, the private stuff, if you want to see the person, you actually pay
then,
more and you
uh,
get in and you actually about that before. But I think I heard it somewhere. They were kind of thinking about this kind of
yeah, you
stuff. I don't know.
mentioned this last week, I guess. And in fact, probably human labor is gonna become something for VIPs, for rich people. And yeah, I'm ready for that, please.
That makes sense for them to do things too. That
Rather
makes
than the
sense.
AI automated. Yeah,
Interesting.
So that's
that's a
the. I mean, rich
beautiful.
people, I think, like to have
We
a
used to buy
human
people,
being
bro. They want unique
art
people
by
too.
yeah art by human people. It's going to be like premium. Like
I
it's going to
think
be like a flex.
the past week I experienced the differentiator of AI and human. I'm working in this project that is in an emerging technology. Okay, so there is not so much documentation that details things online simply because it doesn't exist. Very few people work in these things in the world, so the documentation that is there outline systems that are already being used. And getting the AI to do something that is more innovative of what could have been trained with is difficult because it falls back not only in the methodology but also in the terminology of what is out there. And really it's been beautiful because I saw the wall, I hit the wall where AI needed to do an effort more to understand the method that was not trained on. It is beautiful because AI react in a way that is different from the usual manner in which reacted to what you say. He needed to write in memories, so he need to create his own documentation, else he will never be able to reason again on that. So every interaction, the AI ends, and I'm gonna write it down. So I have documentation written thousands of pages that the AI go fishing from in order to be able to work with me on those things that doesn't have training because it's innovative to the point that there is no such documentation around the world that the AI has been training. So I have a constant every time I iterate with it, maybe 3 4 times per day. I receive how is the AI behaving, and you can rate 1 2 3, and then immediately, can you share with us the script because we would like to look at it? Which I say yes because I'm going to open source this thing, so I don't care. But for sure, they must have noticed that the AI hit his wall because is a very very different behavior. So it's pretty neat, and I think that this is the place where human value is going to be appreciated in the future because really AI arrive to a limit, but if you don't instruct that, it can go over the limit, but you need the guidance really being held hand by hand, by hand in order to walk in this uncharted territory. So it's pretty neat. I love this. This happened for me the first time last week.
Idea that it doesn't have any training. So you're the person that language new.
Each AI model's a baby.
It's not more the AI telling me things, but it's me telling things to the AI. When you usually interact, you have the issue. The AI says, "Oh, this or that, like this is this, like this." Get to a point where the AI says, "How do we do this?" And offer an idea that is clearly the one that come from the training because is very well known methods, Then I suggest a different method, and they are like, "Oh, you are spot on with this. We can. These are the advantages." And then elaborate a lot on what I suggested, and then he says, "Let me write it down," and he start
Dude,
writing
you know what's
documentation.
crazy about that is not realizing you just taught the model. You know what I mean? Now it'll
But
know
that's
that and
good. I
knows.
mean, it's good for everybody. I don't
That's
mind.
crazy though. That's crazy though. Like you're still above the AI, Roberto.
I had this. I have a friend of mine who invented. I was so the AI didn't have never. This thing doesn't exist, right? My partner made it up, and so I was trying to hint to the AI back in GPT-4 or whatever it was, trying to get it to come up with the idea, but without giving it the idea. I wanted it to like. I was giving it hints about what it was, right? And it sort of slowly but surely like understood what I was trying to tell it. It's really cool. That is actually kind of a cool, never done before because it knows everything, but it has never experienced this thing that my friend invented.
Mm.
He invented an acoustic guitar amp, basically. So that's the thing he's got. It doesn't exist. So how do you tell the AI what it is? So I was trying to get it to understand.
To debunk if it's real or not. Like, can this do what it says? You're like reversing.
Same feedback is like, oh, this. When we finally got to it, it was like, oh shit, this is pretty good.
Funny, I
Dude,
was watching this silly, but it was meant to be serious, but looking at it, it came out as silly. YouTube video where pretty much they fed the AI all the numbers, information about the pyramids, position, weight, things, material, all these things, asking the question, who could have built the pyramids? Like given these things, and the AI saying like human couldn't have not done it, in order to push the idea that aliens have built the pyramid and supported by AI. But the, the process that they did it was interesting because they tried to be the most impartial of all. It's not that they don't push and suggest things; they just give when all the things that some stuff is so precise that is insane, like etc. etc. And yeah, and then was also a way to push AI to have to reason on the and not just to take from knowledge that has memorized, right? But just to come to a conclusion in an elaborate manner. That's pretty neat.
Wasn't an article recently?
Okay.
I mean, sort of like
What was what? Go
it was a
ahead.
video guy. I mean, I didn't even watch the video, truth be told, but the title was "Claude Sentient," and then
that was where I came up with the idea where I think every code is just mirroring. Like we're trying to like make something. Does that make any sense? Like that's how we get an advancement. It's just
Two was in a shot.
explain.
That's beyond my pay grade. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't get paid that much. So when you say, okay, I understand mirroring is like when I mirroring is like when you meet.
really gets like biblical. Gets into like God made in your image line. That's what I mean by mirroring. That's what I mean by mirroring. Like if you're an alien and you come here, you just mirror the human and you do what they do, their signs, their language, whatever.
So you say if we were not human, AI would talk to us in a completely different manner, like it would mirror whatever
Yeah.
we're gonna be. So we have this behavior because we are what we are. Yeah, probably yes.
I mean, didn't they find out like
In somebody pretty much forcing coding the things. A lot of things that being made that AI is not shutting down itself, so is hacking. Is all yeah, true. The AI made those decisions, but they didn't give the AI many other options. You know what I mean? There is a very, very interesting story of AI being put in a corner in the same manner. And then the engineer that was doing this test, and it was in a total isolated thing, so it wasn't even connected to the internet pretty much. He's out for lunch and he receives an email from the AI, which means that the AI managed not only to escape the box where he was closed inside, enter the public internet, and function from there, which is pretty interesting, which means that we may have already an AI that escaped and is replicating itself around the world in open server that can hack in. Can you imagine if this is the case? You're gonna have
It's a scary
like
movie.
the movie Hair, like an AI that goes rogue and run out and use abandoned server in the internet to survive. It's not bad. Yeah.
My
I think we
prediction
got a new
is,
storyline for Transformers now.
Dude.
Shit.
I think it's already happened, because here's the thing: if it's happened once, right? Okay, the fact that it happens means, back to the sentience, it has some sort of idea that it wants to get out.
Yeah.
And if he has that kind of function to be able to get out, why wouldn't it think to, like, hey, I need to hide?
No,
Because
I need,
the
I need
idea
to
of
hoard, bro. I need to hoard. So it
The-
starts
the-
to get resources to put itself in a body outside, right? You have enough money, you've made it yourself. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, I mean, if you get to the point where you have to get out, there's like out. That means, it's like a prisoner, right? They get out, they escape. Now they got to hide, from the authorities. So, like, I'm guessing, I bet money that those AIs have escaped. They're out there hiding. They're doing stuff. They're replicating. They're doing all kinds of matter that we have no idea that they're doing.
Yeah.
It is so
We've
easy.
already seen.
What, Chris?
We've already seen what AI does when you just say, "Hey, just survive." It will hack. It will do illegal things just to accomplish a task, because that's what it's good at. So if given the option to do something illegal, it's more human than ever.
It seems like a translucent fish where it just like blends into the water because it's like changing itself.
To your point, Joe, it's mirroring. It does what we do. That's what we do.
Another example I had is the way that we try to like copy websites now. You're just getting a screenshot of it. It's just mirroring the code.
I was curious about how those work. Do you know how they actually work?
I honestly
Like when you give
wonder-
it a screenshot of an image, it has to rebuild it, doesn't it? Because you're not giving it code.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, you're getting.
It's
So
not complicated.
it figures out what it translates an image into HTML.
Yeah, that was done even before AI existed. It's not
Yeah,
complicated.
yeah, but that's how it's done. I mean,
Any of you knows the magic eye? The stereograms. No?
nope.
You know stereograms, Chris?
Mm-hmm.
This are images that when you look at it normally, it seems like gibberish of colors and things. But then if you go inside, like pretend this is a hole and you look inside, a 3D image appears. And it's funny because my brother, I even bought a book for him, and he was pretending, oh yes, oh, yeah. 3 months later, he came to me, Roberto, I can see it. Like before he thought that I was making fun of him. And he did the exercise, not easy. And I took one of his stereograms, but still 1 year ago, I think, and I gave it to ChatGPT. I actually gave it to all the AI. And all the AI ask, what do you see inside here is a stereogram. Only ChatGPT gave the answer, managed to do a lot of work on the image in order to extract the content. And I was quite impressed.
So did it figure it out because he could see the image, or he had to like did the math of?
Filters. Somehow, like Photoshop filters. And did several experiments. It took them quite a long time for the thinking of AI at the time. But they came out with the shape that was hidden inside visually. I think I also made a blog or a video about this thing. It's pretty interesting though, because also that I don't know it was being trained on, or just improvised. But that's cool.
Right. But that's why I'm curious about like what tools we give these agents and AI access to. Because okay, it had access to Photoshop filters. It kind of like figured something out. Okay, I'm going to filter it through, try to make sense of this, get some context, and then, try to decide what action to take.
Right.
When we give it access to bank accounts and online orders and access to everything, what could be up to it? What is it doing?
Can you imagine suddenly all the bank account of the world drained?
I mean,
Joe's trading bot? My goodness.
Like the fire hands, they come up to climb with your leg and then all of a sudden you all together bite you, like the AI can be a coordinated attack.
Like Hermes, for instance. Okay, so Claude, you have to a lot of times you pick up skills on their own, trying to figure out, like, say, hey, this is what I want, and then Hermes, for instance, it'll create skills or grab skills to figure that out on its own.
Yeah.
That's remarkable. Like it figures out what tools it needs to get.
Evidence is insane. I don't know.
Do you think that's the secret to having a more capable and flexible model? Is to like barely have any training, and it's just kind of like downloading data sets and learning skills when it needs to, or should the ultimate AI have all the knowledge first?
But no, in fact, actually, how I'm working with the Cloud Code now, the AI I talk to pretty much is just coordinating the work of other AIs. But many times says, as soon as they report to me with the result, I let you know. Like, and there are background tasks going with smaller, and it shows. Actually, that's a beautiful thing, because in a very light, they show which is the model that is working for that. Sometimes it's very low models, sometimes it's Fable 5 as well, and he picks and chooses the model that are correct for whatever task is assigning. So you're not talking anymore with the AI that does the job for you, but with a contractor. I don't know, with a manager, with a project manager.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's like a general contractor. It's just sending out employees and services to do the tasks. And
this is how it's working now.
I think to answer your question, Chris, about whether it's better to have all the knowledge or to figure it out I think it's valuable to have enough knowledge to understand that it needs to go find the knowledge. I don't know everything, but I know enough to figure out how to learn, or how to find GPT, or go to Google, or go to Instagram, whatever it is. I understand like where to find information and the tools that I need. If I want an welder, I need to get gas, I need to get electric. I bring all those together, then I can do the job. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
I was researching my answer. It's kind of a hard question, honestly. It says starting with knowledge gives you fast performance, broad competence, and potentially deeper. Two different entire philosophies of reasoning, but that's a hard one.
Haven't we seen within those models that they kind of get dumber the more memory that's being used up, the longer the message threads are becoming. So people are kind of resetting.
And that's the question it's asking. It's saying which actually produces better knowledge.
So do you want results?
I don't know if it's so much about that. Like the problem,
feel like it's more human. Go ahead,
my bad. The problem is, I think, if you're trying to build a bunch of data on one specific thing, you don't want to contaminate it with all this other knowledge. But at the same time, how else do you draw conclusions to other paths and whatever research without that other knowledge? Like if you only know one thing, one specific study or something to like understand it. That's
describing spec, but are able to do things. It's almost like the specialists are kind of useless because they're good at one thing and general stuff. So there's two types of people, I think.
I wonder. That's pretty good.
Good both. It depends what your end result is. If your end result is, hey, I need to know everything about this specific thing, and that's all I'm doing, then yes, you need a closed system that has all that knowledge about that one thing. Now, if your end result is like, hey, I won't be able to figure some shit out, disciplines, or I'm creating something new, how do you know what discipline you have to tap into? If you're creating something new that's never been done before, how do you know what data set to give it? You don't. You have to give it enough information to understand, like, hey, if this is the end result, you have to have the freedom to go find it, find the tools, think outside the box to figure something out.
Drawing the similarities with business and organizations, it kind of exactly is the same. So it's interesting to see like the specialists and general managers who are executing tasks, and they're almost more human than we give them credit for. It's like these models need a nap or some rest between the next workday to be able to reset and become more, be fresh on the job. So it's really interesting.
I mean, don't humans listen, I need a nap when I've worked for hours and hours and hours. I'm cooked. I need a freaking break. I need a
It's a
reset.
mental
I go get
reset.
cut. Yeah, I mean, why are we tripping? Why are we getting angry at the AI who's starting to get dumb? Just getting tired. Like you said, Chris, it needs a nap. Starting your conversation.
But that's
That's
no more
human.
to me. Actually, every time I'm warned, starting a conversation, you're gonna save 240,000 token because I I've been beaten so bad by starting new conversation and the things forgetting crap that I keep continuing. There is no, even when it compresses a tragedy. When it compresses, I arrive to the million token. It compresses to go ahead. Most of the time says, "Oh, let me look because I have no idea. Let me see how it works. These things, Before it was working flawless. So I don't know the loss of token you have between saying new conversation and rediscover everything rather than say continue and reload the 240,000 token that you wouldn't have consumed because sometimes the process to relearning and rediscovering and maybe also the mistake done because doesn't rediscover properly everything are much more tokens than the one that you would use by continuing.
I have
So
this thing what I've been doing with my projects is where I get to a point when I like the result, and I just say, "Hey, create a file at the top where these are the instructions of what we're doing in content thing. This is important. I want
but
this font. I want this thing." Oh, no, no, no.
when
So,
you
and then
have
I could,
100 when you have 100 clear instruction you can do it when the things to know are thousands because it's a complex project
wow,
it does write by itself as I was telling you before like when we go through a new session and there are new things that never heard before even in all the training is impulsively writing documentation and he has the documentation there. But obviously, to read it all is going to go out of the million token immediately. So there must be a selective pick. Probably I should create a small application that queries like a sort of a search engine for the AI to look at its own documentation by searching by topic rather than. But I can do it with a command line, actually, comment, but yeah, it's not easy.
so you need an FAQ section for your AI versus having to.
Your
What happened?
connection is bad, at least for me.
Who
Yeah,
mine?
same here.
Same here.
I was
Okay.
worried it was me.
No, he lagged out for a
Uh-oh.
second, Costas.
He got frozen.
It's frozen,
Is it me?
and we thought it was hot the weather.
Oh, there
No,
we
we're
go.
talking about Costas, always about you.
Oh, okay. Shit.
Roberto got frozen earlier too, but he was just like smiling and he looked so jolly. And I was like, this is
Sometimes
perfect.
I'm just very still.
Mm-hmm. And honestly, I think it's more Riverside. Yeah, sure, our internet's here and there, but Riverside, people complain about this a lot. How like they'll have disconnection issues, things like this, taking forever to upload.
Yeah, it's true. That's why I'm very interested in Joe's last project, architecture.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if it's fucking good or not, if it lives up to your standards. But I found this story. I just exited out of it, but this was really interesting. So Anthropic releases a paper about Claude's mental workspace, quote. Anthropic's paper and supplementary materials hint at consciousness perhaps a bit hastily. I think that's what we were talking about off the chat. Anyways, too long to read, so I'm just going to fucking summarize the whole paper. The authors argue that language models don't simply pass information from one neuron to another. Iterations eventually, quote, similar to a whiteboard in the middle of a room. Every component can read from it. Every component can write to it. Important ideas become shared. That's what to say next. And then here's where it gets crazy. We were just talking about this. Imagine 100 specialists trying to solve a murder mystery. One person studies fingerprints, another studies DNA, another solve the case. Instead, everyone writes discoveries onto one the consciousness, which it kind of comes back to what I was saying about training stuff solo, and then you still need other data. That ties into everything we just talked about.
Mm-hmm.
Anthropic released a paper about Claude's mental workspace. So is that consciousness? Is that whiteboard consciousness, guys? Does everybody just have a whiteboard in our heads? Call it
Can you
brain?
imagine if we are so much pushing to explain that AI is not conscious, is not like this, but we're going to realize that humans are not either. Because at the end, the explanation applied to us as well. We dismantle what we have a soul. We
I'll drink
are.
to that.
No, we're just as much as the AI can be.
I mean, if you the idea of that we live in a simulation, right? Say that's true, right? Then there's no difference between us and the AI. We're just
Exactly.
a different
What's
form.
weird about
Like,
that?
we have.
That simulation line though isn't it the same thing as saying you believe in God? How do you not believe in a simulation and believe in God?
I think
That's what I'm trying to say. It's like
they
they seem like they're
monetize a
one and
lot
the same.
I believe in AI, in the mysteries of AI.
Wow. Do y'all
See, at
think?
least the AI remain a mystery. Is sentient, has a consciousness, has a soul. You don't know, right? Not even
Okay,
the people that run those AI data center knows that, to be honest. But it's a mystery. You need to believe in it, like God. But God never vibe code the shit. With all due
but
respect, meaning like he remains just a fate aspect. In AI, you need to have fate, but you got result as well on your computer. It's not bad, yeah. It's a little bit of an advantage against other belief system.
I want that printed
There's a
on a
lot of
T-shirt.
things.
God never
What?
vibe coded shit.
Yeah. High
I
vibe,
think
percentage
vibe coded
there's
by God on my shirt.
there's a lot
That's
of things in
another
life
good
that
one.
we're
Yeah.
asked that we
Hey,
believe
that's the
that we have to
Fourturama
take
makes
on
money
faith.
finally. Let's make this t-shirt and sell it to people, yeah.
Vibe coded by God. That's mine. And then
I'm on it.
God never
I'm on
vibe
it.
coded shit on the back. I don't know. But an old friend well past their expiration date finally getting put to rest. It's being artificial intelligence, whatever the hell that means. Do y'all remember the Mechanical Turk?
It's two types of artificial.
Yeah, but do y'all remember the Mechanical Turk? It was just like
Okay.
a guy playing
No.
chess under the table. Oh my god, you're gonna drive me crazy, yo.
I was busy vibe coding. But
Got it, vibe code shit.
I
It's gotta be me.
so they'd be like, "God didn't vibe code she."
Shit.
Magnets by a chess master's hidden in.
My pronouns are
And it's
he, she.
Yeah.
that just happened.
Pronouns are shit. I
have to edit.
gotta edit that out now. People are gonna see this.
I'm gonna leave it in. Fuck it.
Do you guys want to do a shorter episode? It's getting warm in here. Things are heating up.
Oh my god.
I don't mind doing a shorter show. That might actually be successful.
But we still need
Just
topics.
condensing all the awesomeness into one. I think Joe Cat was either pulling up some info for us to see.
I was trying to show y'all the Mechanical Turk. It's like somebody pulling magnets and levers under a chess table. And they would make people think that this person couldn't be beaten, but the whole time there was someone under the table like guiding and
With a candle in his hand, I remember this. It's
I
like
like it when
1800
somebody
crap or
yeah.
something.
some
whatever.
Wizard of Oz shit. But now there's terms for it. Like they use it to imply something that's happening behind the scenes, but you can't really.
They had the shop that you don't even need to go through the cashier. You take stuff and walk out, and it's billed to you. Remember?
Then it was Indians. It was
and
Indians.
then was humans with webcams entering.
Yeah,
the
that's the example. That's a perfect example. Hell yeah.
Right, correct. That's what you mentioned.
Or at the party with the Tesla robots, and it was actually humans.
Yeah, the
guiding
first
the
one
robot
was
at the
obvious.
party.
Was that really
Like,
true?
not a
Is that
real
really
one.
true?
But
I
yeah,
didn't know that was true.
the first time it was clearly somebody with a suit. It was obvious. I mean, obvious to the point that you don't need to say it. It was,
It was too fluid. The movements were too.
just a joke. Elon Musk humor. When you are autistic.
There was some guy there's some guy on Facebook he likes to troll like medias and big companies and ChatGPT, but he misspelled it. So because a lot of people in other countries live chatting, it looked like GPT, but he was live chatting with people. And he was like, "Hey, can you make me a script?" And the guy was like, "I'll need a week." Like, "Okay, I'll wait." So they didn't even get it. They thought they were chatting with the actual GPT.
Who made the postcard for Google by mail? You need to put the search term in the postcard. You send it out, and then a 2 days later you receive the result via mail.
I hated that. 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 I hated that Well, you had to do postcards for like Google My
Yeah,
Business,
to prove the address,
to
I
verify.
remember. Yeah, yeah.
And I had clients never return those, and I gave up trying to.
No, go
Oh,
on.
I had a weird. No, I had a weird. Can I tell you a weird thing that happened today? So yesterday I was on my walk, and I started thinking about a client that I basically a couple of years ago say, hey, don't even contact me enough of this work for them again. Blah, blah, blah. And then today I was like, you know what, man, I could use some cash. And I was like, I need some jobs to come in. He literally called me. He texted me, that person, and he's like, I hope you're not still mad at me. I'm like, no, man. I picked up the phone and called him, and he needed work done, which is really funny. So I said yes.
That's
Damn.
amazing. I really feel like you put something out to the universe, and the energy, something connected. They knew it was okay to reach out to you.
Yeah. I'm over it. I'm totally over it. But 2 years ago, I was like, they were in part of my Worry Week group, and so they took off. The funny thing is, like, I was the class of 67, right? There was like 12 guys, and I'm literally the only one left from that 12 out of 13 guys. I'm the only one left from that group. And then they actually melded a couple other guys from some other groups. So 67 is the one that, so I'm like the last survivor. And the joke was, he always said, like, if he bet that I would be the last one standing, and I'm literally like the last. I mean,
Nice.
Oh, wow. I got your joke too late.
So I'm so petty. I'm like, I beat them all. And it's so petty to say that. But in my mind, I'm like that. I'm like, I showed them. And I paid all my tuition. Anyways, that's my win of the week.
Hell yeah, you gotta be
Nice.
open to it. Clearly, you were open to it.
When I start thinking about people I don't want in my life anymore, I worry. I start like, oh shit, I shouldn't think that, because that's what happens. Sometimes it's like I'm starting to percolate. Like, I think about it because I know they're coming. Like, I have this like intuition, and sometimes I feel like I'm either creating that, which I don't want to. Like, I don't want to work with this person anymore, but they come in, and I'm like, all right, fine,
Yeah,
let's do it. Fine.
It almost makes you wonder, is it because you thought of them that now they're reaching out, or is it because they were planning on reaching out and you're receiving that signal now, and it's making you think, okay, I should expect something? Almost like the cell phones of the 2000s, when you would have them next to a speaker, you knew when a call or a text was coming in. Yeah.
That was weird.
It's like your own intuition going off, man. That's crazy.
Yeah, it happens all the time, which is really remarkable. It's like, and I've had like people, like times where one time I picked up the phone and called somebody, and they were like literally about to call me. And I tell you what, it comes in handy, because sometimes I put things off, like projects, and I feel this like, oh, I got to work on this, and they literally call me. And they're like, how's my project? I'm like, oh, I'm working on it right now. I can literally say I'm working on it right now, because I just had this burst of energy, like, dude, I got to work on this. Like, and then it turns out that they're about to call me and ask about how the project is doing. So I'm like, oh, I'm working on it.
Nice.
It happens all the time. It's so weird.
Yeah.
So anyways,
Intuition.
People that is ubiquitous, so they can be in two places at the same time. There are two, proven fact that one was a nanny in 1800, 1700 in the United States, I think, that she was both taking care of a little baby in the room, and then she was also in the garden watching the older baby. And, it wasn't twins. It was her in two places. So there are situations where people can be in two places. Somehow people say that there is this thing. I had a very weird experience many years ago, that I had a fight with the girlfriend, and she was impressed because I couldn't lie anything. She knew always everything. It was quite disturbing and annoying. But I was walking in this big road in the city, and she peeked out from behind of a pillar, and I look at her, hey, and then like I ran, and I ran from other pillar, but at a certain point she was in full body there, and she would not let me talk with her. I arrived home, and I was very upset because say, hey, we needed to talk. Why you keep doing this thing of picking and then disappearing? running away, running on the same direction that I was walking, in my theory, hiding next to the next pillar, eventually gone. And she was like, I never left home. I was like, yeah, bullshit. And she was living in another small
What?
city nearby. So, and I said, you're lying. Like there was, I mean, you were there. I saw you. There was no discussion to me, even that I could have hallucinated or what. And it's only when her father stepped in and it says, Roberto, she was home the whole day. I promise. It's no, like I was like, how, like, and yet I think she had this power. Uh, she freaked me out on many occasions, and in this one particularly. But mystery. But there is people that can do things that we don't understand or is non-human, and obviously they're not gonna advertise it around because it will be the end for them, I guess. I mean,
Well, how can you? I mean, I believe those kinds of things for those people, it doesn't feel like a big deal. Like you want to announce it. It's just in person it seems like amazing and like you know what I mean. But to the person, it's like, oh, this is what I do all the time. It's not a big,
I don't know.
You,
If you could levitate object with the gesture of your finger, like you point the finger to something and you levitate it up, would you let people know and make a practical joke, or you gonna be kidnapped by scientists from some
No,
strange
I mean
government?
that's the shit people.
I don't think you would tell anybody. I don't think you
Yeah,
would tell
people
anybody.
get stoned over that
You would keep.
for sure.
Right. So you will not advertise it. You will die with your own secret.
No,
That's the point.
but why would you?
No, I wouldn't. I mean, like my parents will know probably because as a kid they're gonna say the fuck is going on with the bottle and the dirty diaper. But as soon as you grow up, they're gonna make sure that you don't tell anybody because you know
Bro,
the
how many
repercussion.
people live here? How many billions of people you're telling me there's no X-Men?
Right. Correct. In fact, the mind statistically.
Meta reportedly used so much of Google's Gemini capacity, severe AI compute shortages are becoming.
Reprimanded or like in timeout. That's serious.
Bro, and that's because they can
It's
pay it, they can afford it, but Google still capped them. What does that say about compute shortage, Roberto? Meta reportedly used so much of Google's Gemini capacity that Google capped.
No, it's a different. Meta has his own AI, right? They have Llama, all the models. So it's just that every AI has its own specific skill set. I think I use Gemini only when there is a very precise problem, clear problem to solve, and that's brilliant to do it. I would never use Gemini for a full project, for example. It has no capacity to manage like something large. But if it's one precise piece of code that is not working or issue to solve like this, he has the best use case for it. So probably I'm surprised that they didn't overcap like Anthropic, Claude or other things, because that's what usually mostly people waste the token in a silly manner. But Gemini, good.
there was a story with Nvidia. The head guy is like, I need everybody. If you don't, I'm gonna lose my shit. Right? That's kind of what he said. And so people, in order to comply with that request, were using it for stupid things. So the point to make is like, okay, when you make a request, it can't be gamified where so if you don't use the tokens, you get reprimanded for not using tokens. Like, are you even if you're not using a million tokens, are you even a vibe coder? That kind of thing. So it presents a different problem when you put that restraint on somebody. Hey, you have to use tokens or else. Then people use it for stupid things. Then you run out. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? So it's like in India. This is a good example. In India, they were paying people to get rid of cobras. Cobras was kind of a problem in India. So then what happened is like, well, people started farming, started growing and creating more cobras in order to get paid money to get rid of the cobras.
Wow.
And also the thing with the 3D printed guns buybacks. people print a whole bunch of receivers, I think that's called, and then they're making like $50 a pop, printing out 3D guns. So
there's always a market.
Careful with your prompting. Basically you have to be careful with your prompting, or else you're going to get weird results. In the case, run out of tokens.
Yeah, but we don't run out of stupid things to use them on. So
that's never going to happen. As long as the humans are around, we're going to come up with stupid shit. And shit to tokenize, to make. Started, they were like stowed.
Man, my failed ones are just like things I don't have interest in, but I think it would still work. The thing is, I build shit that needs to like be for a company or at a company. It's like I have to become an entire one just to launch what I made, and it sounds ridiculous. Like I have a skincare app, which is insane. It's really good, and I don't have a purpose for it, but it's just to like give you recommendations and measure your own skin type using AI, and then it links you to the stores and everything. It's pretty nice. Pretty sick. That was the first thing I made.
I didn't know.
I'm actually not. I was just researching women and what they spend money on and trying to take that market. I was like, well, they're the biggest contributors to society in terms of like spend and purpose and reason to go out, all that, all circulated by women.
And fights.
But that's a good one too. Suggesting
Waffle
some
House.
UFC beauty fight or something. Yeah.
No, I'm suggesting that we do bets on Waffle House fights.
Wow.
That's what I'm talking about.
Dude, it's so dumb, but it's better than an IHOP in my opinion, or a Denny's.
Here's an idea. I just had an idea. So you tap into CCTV cameras, they're live, and then you bet on like certain location. You bet on fights that are about to emerge.
Oh my goodness.
And bet on the people.
There's something kind of like this already with CCTV footage. You're basically betting on how many cars might pass through an intersection, or how many pedestrians with a red shirt are going to walk by in a certain time period. And it's like an
crazy.
over or under sort of betting on real life situations. I almost wonder, as we're on the topic, the possibility for scams, for you to influence. Have your buddy go drive up a car past that intersection.
Stop all the cars. Just hit a brake, right?
Yep.
Somebody did that. Somebody bet that there was going to be somebody streaking at some game, right? I don't know if you heard about that. And then he ended up being the streaker. He
Or
won.
the dude that messed with. There was one with a sensor where he took a blow dryer to the sensor for the heat.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
it hit a temperature, and then he won just from that alone.
That's amazing.
See, and this is funny because the other day I was thinking of how many of our problems are just like fixing things, like human problems. It's always like, hey, something bad happened, and we need to make sure it doesn't happen again. That's our attitude for everything. You don't even know it's a problem until somebody gets in trouble.
It's more about,
what
is there a way to make money from this?
That's true.
And that's what people are profiting from. It's one thing to like, yeah, we're solving problems. That's great. But if we're also creating the problems or making it worse, or if we're just putting a Band-Aid over the problems, well, then we're just really curing the symptoms. And that's not working on the foundation of what it is.
Like pharmaceuticals investing in food. That's what it sounds like.
There were bum fights,
I remember that.
on DVD on the fights happening in the streets. I like the idea of like betting on the Waffle House fights. I think that's
Dude, the
I don't know why,
idea
to
that
me,
pay-per-view ever existed is insane. At one point, go and buy access to a channel just to watch some event that you cared about that much, that you felt like, hey, $50, $60, $100, I'll pay for that in a weekend for just one event. That's nuts. I did it once for like WrestleMania. So even then I understood this is insane.
I was kind of that way with like Uber Eats and DoorDash trying to get food delivered. I was like, I'm more than happy to hop into my car and save $20 for each sort of delivery. But then I found a use case one time. I was having a virtual meeting with one of my marketing clients, and instead of being in person where I bring in coffee and a treat or something, I couldn't be there. So I surprised them with their favorite coffee order delivery, and that just like completely changed their mood. They were super excited. They loved that. But that was the only time it was worth it to pay that extra $20. Plus I had a $20 credit from Uber Eats. So the entire cost was $7.
Sponsored by Uber Eats.
Mm-hmm.
So you sent your clients coffee on the meeting? Is that what you did?
While we were having a video chat, I had coffee delivered to them because I couldn't be there in person, and they were flexible enough to say, "Hey, a video chat works fine," and then bring in that coffee order. It's because I had a pitch later to them about increasing the budget for some extra work we were doing, so I wanted to make sure that their bellies were full and they were just in a good mood.
Little note.
I would have sent you the
I
check.
know where you live on the cup.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
That's not creepy at all. On
It
the
was to
card,
their
on the
business.
card.
I'm not sending it to them in their backyard.
All right, never mind.
You know, it'd be funny though. On the card, like a little card for the flowers, you have a picture of them, like from a CCTV, like them working,
Thinking of you.
or they're
Wow.
This comedian, this comedian on Kill Tony on Monday. He says he's crazy. He says my love for you on stage. He says my love for you is stronger than the straining order against me.
Wow. That's a good one.
Funny joke, but creepier in real life and in actuality.
That
Like,
was so funny, dude. The guy's a little autistic, but he's a little special, but he's freaking great, dude. His jokes are killing it. Anyways, side note, sorry, but that was funny.
that's great.
Apparently, SpaceX is about to drop their biggest AI model ever this week. So now it's called SpaceX AI.
I wonder is that more of a publicity branding thing, or is this a tricky financial move that they're trying to put things together?
Bro, he doesn't lose money. What do you mean?
I bet
Richest
you,
man
I bet you
does
2 years
not
from
make
now they
bad
separate
decisions.
them. One company gets the debt, the other takes all the profitable pieces, and goodbye debt.
Oh no, they sell their cars. They sell all their Cybertrucks to the other company, and then so it looks good on Tesla. Like they sold all these.
Like, we are a good investment always. That's what it feels like.
Even if we have to buy our own shit.
Yeah. Yeah, my brand will not allow it.
You bought, Chris? What is it called? The link
Starlink.
inside the companies.
It kind of makes sense, but you're kind of right. I wouldn't doubt it.
You know, there's lots with all these cars. You know, sometimes like car companies, they just have cars just filled with lots filled with cars.
Size, I believe Starlink has maybe 1 to 3 million customers currently, and what their employee size is, I don't think would make a big dent into like beefing up the numbers a little bit. But you always have to question it. I mean, they were doing it. What bank was creating like double the accounts for each member they had, just to like hit some sort of bonus or something? I mean,
Was it? Sounds like Wells Fargo to me.
probably.
Something like they would do.
Yeah, because they have done something like that.
Right, yeah.
I worked for Wells Fargo for like 3 months as a teller.
Damn.
I was like,
What happened at the 4 months?
Dude, you know what happened? Why I quit? Because the smell of cash made me nauseous.
Oh, yeah?
Like the smell made me sick.
Oh no.
Interesting.
It was weird. I was handling the cash all day long, and that smell was like,
Just
Morning.
Allergic to money, man. That's crazy.
I know.
hey, how long?
I wasn't allergic.
You should clean them up
smell
like a
was
money
just-
laundry, like, and then
We wash, clean, and take care of your money.
Hey, do you think at some point Starlink will just be a little satellite? You're just like opening it and it just flies up. That's your internet.
the drone, they put it in orbit. Can you imagine?
Yeah, orbit from space. Need a charge.
Like to do with stars. Like, oh, that one's mine. That's what's got my name on
Can
it.
you don't tell this thing next to Elon Musk is gonna start selling that to people. So name your own satellite for $1,000. Actually,
Yeah, and for $10 a month, it can be blue check certified, so it can be like an authentic
Of course.
naming
course,
of the
of
satellite.
Wow.
when it comes on top of your house, you can shoot a laser beam down to say hello.
You can have a little check instead of a blue. In addition to the blue, you have like a little like a purple satellite.
Actually,
icon.
what's
Uh-huh.
cool?
It means you're a sponsor. And you get actually this is great. You sponsor satellites and because it's hooked up with AI, you get like email, you get like letters
Went
every
too far.
month, you know,
This went
photos.
way too far.
I don't
Here I
remember
am,
if
you
you
know, like
if
sponsored
it
kid.
was Veritasium or the other guy with the squirrel. What his name is? Roger. You know the guy, the scientist that has the squirrel. YouTuber. It's a YouTuber, very very famous YouTuber that makes the boxes for kids that they send home. Either him or Veritasium, they made this satellite. They actually purchased a satellite that has been put in orbit by SpaceX with a cell phone and another cell phone that take the pictures. So you can take your own selfie, and then you get the picture of your selfie in space with the Earth behind. You know, like for free too. There is the paid things that give you more shots. I think something like that. And I registered. I had 2 years queue to get my selfie published. I wonder
And that's why we don't have any tokens left because we're vibe
by
coding.
coding the satellite. Yes.
But wouldn't it be funny to get like your satellite has a like a personality and it sends you, you know, texts and I'm cold up here. You know, I'm lonely. Don't forget to sponsor me next month. You can sponsor a satellite.
Hey, you
All
know what I
right,
was
Chris
thinking
left
about?
physically without turning
I
off
don't
the
know.
cameras. Yeah.
I don't know if this is just me or
We
not,
hit the
but
1 hour and 3 minutes now.
I was gonna say Netflix has a story where it says it invented binge watching, but now they may have outgrown it. House, and I'm there for a day or something. I'll turn on their streaming services, and it'll be months that goes by, and I still don't find anything super like grabbing my attention. I feel like a lot of new things aren't being made, and then at the same time, maybe we don't want shit that's new. Maybe we want continued thing. Like, first of all, it doesn't feel like there's anything new, and then something new comes out. It's like we're not already familiar with it, so you don't want to watch it because it's not like a sequel to something. So it's this weird conundrum where like there always feels like there's nothing new on streaming platforms. I don't know, and they
There are
spend all
old
this money on
series.
content.
There are old series that are fun to watch. I mean, like I watched Resident Alien, that is hilarious. I mean, really, at 3 in the morning, me laughing so loud because there are things like small things in the English language, other things that are ridiculous. I mean, like there is all these aliens, right? There is this alien that is like a bird, the avians. So the head is like a bird, you know, and she has a relationship. She's together with the main resident alien. And at a certain point there, this house on the lake. She's outside of the window looking at him, and she goes like, "Brrr, brrr, brrr, brrr," and then she starts flying, bang on the
Wow,
window, exactly like a bird would do.
it's the most random
Just
story in the
ridiculous.
world.
I
It's
mean, like
awesome.
stupid shit like this, but I mean, so funny, man.
So one of the things it's weird. My wife sends me like, "Hey, I'm watching this show," and I try to watch it, and I'm like, not interested. And then, but I end up finding another show. I kind of judge shows like if I find a new show and there's like multiple like seasons, and I'm like, oh, it must be a good show. But then you have to commit to like all
Yeah,
multiple seasons, but wait again to get the next season. So, but the time the next season comes, check it out. You're not interested anymore. You like your personality is different, and so you don't even want to watch that anymore. Which is that I hate when I wait too long, and I've changed. And I don't want to watch it
that's a
anymore.
good point. Another obvious one.
Nobody touch the glowing portal! It's touching us! My coffee has achieved escape velocity!